Hello, everyone. This is Wrestling Watcher, a YouTube channel. It's about watching professional wrestling. So, Absolute Ricky Saints, formerly known as Starks on AEW, has made his debut on Smackdown. Now, this is a good debut for a number of reasons, I think. When his music hit, he didn't get the reaction I thought he should have got. It was kind of a timid reaction, not a lot of noise. Perhaps some of the audience didn't know who he was. Maybe they didn't watch NXT. He did win some titles there, the North American Championship, the NXT Championship. But I think he does have a future on SmackDown. He had a really solid, good match with Cody Rhodes, someone that we know in real life that they're really close friends. In fact, I believe when he was still Ricky Starks, he was backstage at a WWE event called On Camera with Cody Rhodes, and it caught some interest online. Now, I think, as I said, he has a future there. He's still pretty young, 36. Great shape, great athlete. He has some charisma. And look, WWE can book him to, I think, be a star. And there's this online sort of debate between the AEW booking of Tony Khan versus the WWE booking with Triple H, right? And how much of that is even Triple H? You presume a lot of it is, but you kind of look at it and go, okay, TKO is stepping in here, there when they want something done, right? That's just the way it looks. That's the way it sort of plays out when you watch it. But the online discussion remains the same. Tony Khan booking versus Triple H booking. Now, you can look at quality of story and you can make your own determination, or you can look at how WWE books an individual wrestler versus how AEW books them or book them. And if you look at not AEW but WWE, you look at CM Punk, you look at Cody Rhodes, Ricky Starks, now Ricky Saints. You look at Jade Cargill, All Ego, Ethan Page. The list goes on. You can sort of just keep going down the list with it, right? But I would argue that AEW stars become bigger stars when they hit that WWE platform. That has been proven. Which could make it arguable that, WWE is just better at booking them. Of course, you could also attribute that to production, right? I forgot Danhausen. You can put Danhausen on that list. Seems like if you really go about it, there's at least 10 of them, right? That came from AEW to WWE. Mariah May for that. You can look at her. But now, does that mean that WWE is better at booking? At least to some extent, if they're making the bigger stars, if they're monetizing them better than AEW did, then yes, you have to say they're better at booking. Now, does that mean that WWE tells better stories? I like a good MJF segment. I like what MJF does, but I haven't watched AEW as much as I should have in a while. But from the years that you watch them versus WWE, does AEW really tell better stories? I don't know about that. I think it all just depends. Sometimes it feels like a week-to-week sort of thing that they're coming up with stuff. Sometimes it seems like, maybe they got a long-term story going. I'm talking about AEW, but you can say the same thing about WWE. You can make an argument that they haven't quite had the magic they've had since WrestleMania 40, when the bloodline sort of peaked, arguably. I think they're getting some of that back now with this Reigns title run, but it's going to take some time. Stories take time. Long stories take time. It's not a week-to-week thing where you just have a great story. Not usually. Usually there's a pre-write. There's a lot of thinking ahead of it, right? There's the beginning, the middle, and the end. And usually that takes time to come up with. It's not something that you just put together week to week. But hopefully we'll see moving forward. I think this Ricky Saints thing, I think he could have a good story in WWE if they book him right. I think the Cody Rhodes match was a good first start. And Cody Rhodes obviously got the victory there, and we'll see what happens. Gunther did come out afterwards and beat down Cody Rhodes. That's a separate video for a separate time. But that's going to be all for this one, guys. Thank you.